Hi, and welcome to the Maureen Pound Show, where we get extraordinary insights from cool business people. So today we have Charles David, who's the marketing manager at Global Teams, and he's going to be giving you tips and tricks to make more engaging videos and content for your social media. So welcome, Charles.
Hi, Maureen. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So I'd like to start the show by asking you, what is something different, quirky, or interesting about you?
That's a very interesting question. Okay, so something quirky about me is I have mild ADHD, and I can't stop moving. I can't stop talking. The bad thing is I always move. The good thing is I never stop working, and the quirky thing about that is my wife is actually a special education teacher. So every time I do something, she assesses me. It's like this shrimp beside me all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, well, there should be more quirky people in the world, I reckon, but it sounds like an interesting relationship. Now, let's jump in. So we're going to be talking a lot about video today, and use of video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. One big thing that you spoke to me recently about the different platforms, and can you share a little bit about when you're creating content, what's the difference when you're creating video for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter versus creating content for YouTube?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic, Maureen, because people don't really notice, like in these platforms, they just think that, hey, I just shoot a video of myself and just post it on social media anywhere on the web. It's fine. It's going to be fine. People are going to watch me. People are going to be interested in what I'm talking about, which is not really the case. So you did mention that there are social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and there is also a platform for videos that we call YouTube. So the difference between that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. These are social media platforms that people usually go to have social interactions. They watch their friends, they watch their connections, they see what's going on in the world, what's going on in their friend's life. So that's the intent that they go into in these social media platforms. So the content that you need to be posting in these platforms should be content that will immediately get the attention of people just scrolling down. Because if I assume everyone in the world has already been using Facebook for a while, the way you use Facebook is you just scroll down on your timeline and just pick the content and video that you want to watch. So if video number one right here, I'm not interested with that video, I just scroll down, move on to the next one. If video number two is still not piquing my attention, I just move on to the next one. So that's the way how Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn is operating. But on the other hand, there's YouTube. Now YouTube, and I also assume that a lot of people in the world have been using YouTube, and the way that people use YouTube is very, very far from the way people use the other platforms, because when they use YouTube, they do it with search intent. Now, what do I mean with search intent? Search intent means I go to YouTube to watch a very specific video. Now, those kind of videos are going to be how-to videos, a video of a very specific topic, like, for example, how to make coffee the right way. So if I search in YouTube how to make coffee the right way, I'm going to be shown how to make coffee the right way. I'm not going to be shown these videos of cats, videos of dogs that like playing around, funny videos. No, they're going to show me the exact thing that I was searching on YouTube. So putting that in mind, you have to create content for YouTube that is search-based or search intent. So if you put up a YouTube video about how to make coffee, expect people that are going to watch your videos that want to learn how to make coffee. On the other hand, if you post videos of how to make coffee on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, people might watch it, but it's going to be more random compared to YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great point. So that's this search intent that's happening. People are actually looking for it. You've also shared a little bit with me before, because you do a lot of our videos, that that it's better to do longer videos on YouTube. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Definitely, definitely. So that's a good point as well. In Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, people usually have the intent to just scroll down and see what's going on, right? So what they're probably looking for is a quick view on the day that's going on with their friends, their connections. So the shorter video should be posted on those social media platforms. While on YouTube, because people already have the intent to watch that video. Now, YouTube's goal is always to keep people in YouTube. Which platform doesn't want to keep their audience within the platform? So that's the exact goal that YouTube wants, is to keep audience retained in YouTube. So if you make longer videos, the more YouTube can show ads. So the more YouTube can show ads, the more YouTube can make money. And the more people that are going to stay watching in YouTube, the more YouTube is going to show your videos to those people. So the longer the video, the more ads. The longer the ads, the more money YouTube makes. And the more money YouTube makes, the happier YouTube gets. So the exact connection to that is the longer video, the longer your video, the happier YouTube is with your video. So YouTube is going to show that video to the world more.
Yeah, and so it sounds like it's a bit of a tap-on effect, because then the more YouTube shows it, then the more people see it, and then the more subscribers you get, and it all starts to build. Especially, it sounds like if you answer the question, the how-to question, really well, and in terms of the quality of that video.
Definitely. Like in YouTube, how-to videos are always one of the most popular videos, because it shows the most search intent. It has the most intent to be searched. Like if you want to learn how to do this stuff, you go to Google or YouTube, wherein we know that Google and YouTube belongs to the same company. So they are search intent companies. So if you want those people to watch your videos on how-tos, you go to these platforms rather than go to other social media platforms. But I'm not saying that you cannot post those videos or those content on other social media platforms. It's just a different type of intent where people watch it.
Okay, great. Now, just some tips on Facebook. So if people are scrolling, it sounds like, what do you need to do at the start of the video to grab their attention?
That's a very, very good question. Like a lot of people has been asking that question, actually, because as we know, like as the world progresses, the attention span of people also lessens. So it's inversely proportional to that. So you need to really get that hook in that video. So if you just say, "Hi, welcome to my video. I'm going to be showing you how to make coffee." Rather than if you show them the process or the final process, or the final output or product of that coffee that you made, with this beautiful artwork, with this really elegant lighting, with this amazing look to it, people are going to be intrigued. So that first 3 to 5 seconds of the video, people are going to be going like, "Hey, wow, I want to make that kind of coffee. So I need to watch the entire video to get to that endpoint." Now, by showing the endpoint first, people are going to be intrigued more.
Yeah, so I think that's a great strategy. So there's got to be something to draw you in, especially on those platforms where people are scrolling. There's no intent there, but you need to catch their eye. And one of those ways is to show the endpoint at the beginning. I love that strategy. Now, obviously, the visuals, the sound, the lighting are all important aspects to grabbing people's attention and retaining people when they do start watching your videos. Can you talk me through a little bit about the importance of sound and lighting and what you can do to support yourself around that?
Awesome. So people actually, like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of Facebook videos, and the problem I see with most people is they don't pay attention to their lighting. They don't pay attention to their sound quality. They don't pay attention to those small things. They think are small things, but lighting can really affect your audience retention rate, or in layman's term, the how long your audience is going to watch the video. It's going to affect it, because if I watch a video, or if people watch a video with really bad lighting, it's gonna be bad for their eyes. Like, not in the medical aspect, but in their interest. Like, why am I watching a video that looks like it was shot on 1995?
Yeah, and then it sounds like it's a lot more effort for them. Like, I mean, like, you don't put the effort in, do you, to try and watch it if you can't see it well?
Watching those, yes, definitely, and it same goes with sound quality, because if I speak in a very far distance away from my device that's shooting the video, people are going to, like, turn their volume up more, and then squint or move closer to their computer, and it's going to take them a really hard time to listen to that video, listen to your content, which is going to, in turn, like, why am I gonna watch this video with really poor video quality? Why am I watching this video with really bad audio quality, where YouTube is already suggesting me another video that looks great, that sounds better? So I'm just going to click away. And YouTube, as I've said, wants to retain their audience, wants to keep their audience in that platform. Same goes with Facebook. Same goes with Instagram. They don't want their viewers to be, their users to be clicking away from that platform. So instead of them showing you to other people, they're just gonna say, hey, this guy makes videos that people only watch for 5 seconds, and the video is like 10 minutes long. So why am I gonna show this to other people? I cannot put ads in it, because I know, YouTube knows, that people are only watching for 10 seconds. So YouTube's not gonna put in any ads for just 10 seconds of watch time. So it will rather promote other videos to those people than promote your video.
Okay, great. And so just on that point, because we had a question from the audience, in terms of YouTube, what's the ideal video length? Because you've talked about having time to put the, get the reader engagement, and there's intent to listen to it, and that YouTube puts in the ads. So what's the ideal length?
Okay, that's a very, very good question. Thank you for that. The ideal length for me would be from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. So it's that span of time wherein it's not too short, but it's also not too long. So YouTube can attach like an ad every 5 minutes of the video. So that's already 4 ads. So in that 4 ads, YouTube is getting paid. So YouTube is gonna get paid 4 times for that video. If you post a 10-minute video, YouTube can put in an ad every 3 minutes. So they're gonna get paid every 3 minutes of that video. So that's, for me, the ideal length to posting YouTube videos. Okay,
great. And so at what point do YouTube start putting in ads? Like, because there's a lot of longish videos there that, haven't had that many views or whatever. So what's their criteria for using your video and putting ads? Like, you've hit the big time, woohoo!
So yeah, there's this thing in YouTube they call monetization. So to get monetized means, uh, I mean, before you get monetized, you will not be getting any ads from your in your videos. So when you get monetized, that's the moment when YouTube is gonna show ads to your videos, and you get monetized by reaching two criteria. The first criteria is you have to reach 1,000 subscribers in a span of 1 year. That's 365 days. That's their criteria. Number two is you have to reach 4,000 watch hours in the exact same span of time. So expect that if you're a new YouTuber, if you're just new to the platform, just started creating content, expect that you need to create more content because you need to catch the number of subscribers and the number of watch hours in just a short period of time, which is 1 year or 365 days.
Yeah, that's really informative. So it's good to actually know what you're going for. And it sounds like it's, start putting content out there until you hit a sweet spot with viewers.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, excellent. I'm looking down, I'm writing notes here because I think I'm finding it really fascinating. So could you tell me a little bit about audio? We've talked a bit about this. Do you need a mic? When you're filming, can you use an iPhone? What sort of equipment do you need to make sure that your audio and your visuals are good and clear?
Yes, that's another excellent question, because people often say that I don't want to get started on YouTube. I don't want to become a content creator because of that exact problem. I don't have good equipment. I only use a smartphone. I only use a tripod. I only use a selfie stick. But I need to correct people on that, because content creation is not based on the equipment or how high the level of equipment that you have. There are some content creators that started using only smartphones, not even smartphones yet, like very rudimentary phones that can shoot video, can shoot audio. Now, we've talked earlier that, yeah, it's important for people to invest in good video quality, good lighting, and good audio. But if you don't have those equipment ready yet, you can use what you have. Now, if you do have the resources to get a microphone, get external lighting, such as like simple lighting as a ring light that costs like about $4 or $5 US, it's not a bad idea to invest in these equipment, because, as I've said before, good lighting, good audio, and good video quality can improve your videos. Note the key term that I use there, can improve. It's not 100% that if you're shooting 4K quality video, if you're shooting hi-fi stereo audio, you're going to immediately have like 1 million subscribers watching your videos. It's still gonna be a balance between how good your content is and how good the quality of your video is.
Yeah. So it sounds like getting that that balance right. What if you're a newbie and your content's good? Is there any way that you can boost it or fast track it, or because I'm sure there's people out there with good content, but it's just not being picked up.
Definitely. So the better the content is always the better the content. That's it. It's like it's as simple as that. But they can always fast track it by post processing, because people have this awesome idea, has this awesome video, but the problem is there's no post processing. There are these people in the photography world and videography world that proclaims themselves as purists. They call themselves as purists. Like, I want to shoot my videos and post it directly on social media. I don't need editing. I don't need post-processing. I don't need any of those. I'm confident with myself. And yes, sometimes it works, but most of the times it doesn't. Why? Because as we mentioned before, people's attention span gets lesser and lesser each year. So if their attention span gets lesser and lesser, and we just talk like this for like an hour, their attention span's just gonna give up on them. So a good way to fast track your videos or to supercharge your videos is to add something called B-rolls, transitions, and pattern interrupts. So those are the three things that could potentially make your videos a lot better than what they are already.
Right. So could you, because they're really fascinating. So let's go through the first one. What do you mean by transitions?
Okay. So transitions is moving from part 1 of the video to part 2 of the video. So if you move from the first part of the video to the second part of the video and no transition is there, it's just gonna seem like it blinked. Like the audience blinked. Hey, where did we go? Like at first he was in a room, and then in a blink of an eye, he's already in a spaceship. So people are gonna get confused. So a good way to lessen the confusion of people of you jumping from one scene to another is to put transitions in the middle of those scenes. So those are transitions, basically just eliminating that factor of confusion jumping from scene A to scene B.
But exactly what is a transition? So so for instance, just say one video I'm inside and one I'm outside. What does a transition look like?
Okay, so a transition looks like, it can look like a lot of things. It can be a color, a flash of color just flashing into the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Just your screen just fading away and then fades in again when coming into the next scene. It can be this black bar that runs up to the screen, and then when it reaches the next part of the bar, you're already in scene 2. So those are transitions.
Okay, that sounds great. And so, because I noticed there's a lot of that on, I think Carmen even mentioned it before on one of the on the screen because she's watching, getting jealous of our great chat. That a lot of the kids show YouTube, and even teenager young people's like Food Theory and all those. I watch my kids shows, and there's heaps of transitions. So I think. Your point about people are getting less and less tolerant of no transitions. Kids are even less tolerant, aren't they?
Definitely, especially kids, as you've mentioned. Like the younger the audience, the less attention span they have, and that's just how the world operates. So for those YouTubers or content creators that create videos for kids, the more pattern interrupts that they put in videos, the more their kid audiences stay and watch the video. So pattern interrupts are really, really, really important. Like it's very simple to do. It's just taking a video, zooming in, zooming out again, or taking a video, just zooming in slowly and as they're talking, or change camera angles. It's those simple things that people take for granted.
Yeah, that's great. So we've talked about transitions, which it might be, a flash of black or something up on the screen to move towards different scenes. Yes. And now we're talking about pattern interrupt. So that's where you can have different zooming in, zooming out. What are some other ways to create this pattern interrupt so that the brain is interested and excited to keep watching?
That's a very good that's a very good point as well. So pattern interrupts can range into different things, as I've mentioned before, like zooming in, zooming out. You can also attach some videos within your video. So as you're talking about this, amazing coffee, and then you said something cool, just interrupt the audience. Don't just go ahead and continue, just continue your video. Cut that part, because you know that you said something amazing. So you can pull out a video from YouTube. Just make sure it's not copyrighted. Just pull out a content there, attach it in the middle of those scenes, just a scene, or just shoot it yourself, like what you do with Carmen. Like, just go, wow, or just go, that's amazing. So it's like someone is reacting to what you said. We hear this all the time in radio stations. They're not even shooting video, but they also have pattern interrupts. People don't notice it because they don't know that it's the exact thing that catches their attention. It might be someone tells a joke, and then audience from the background is going to start laughing. But do you really think in an FM station there's audience watching? No, it's just pattern interrupt to show you that, hey, I said something funny and someone is laughing, even if it's not you. And I know you're also laughing behind, in front of your screen.
Yeah, great. So I love the way of looking at it, because I didn't realize with BRoll we was going, wow, oh no, laying on the thing, I'm crying, whatever it is. We just did the silly ones. But I love the way you've positioned it, that it's actually what you're really doing is anticipating what an audience might be feeling or thinking to what's said, whether it's laughter, tears, shock, joy, whatever it is, and putting in that into the video to give that pattern interrupt. And often it's quite humorous as well, isn't it? Some of those.
Definitely. So it still depends on the what type of audience you have. So if you're doing a very corporate audience, it's better to have pattern interrupts that are more, corporate. So if you're doing a video for a different kind of audience, you have to design your pattern interrupts and your B-roll to accommodate those audiences.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. So, I think that's the message for people is around really thinking what their brand is, how they want to be perceived.
Definitely. It's still gonna be based on what the brand of your company, of your content, like, it's your mark in the world. So may it be other people don't like it, but as long as you like your content, just put it out there.
Yeah, because there will be people who do like it.
Definitely. You can never please anyone. Everyone, I mean.
Another thing that you just mentioned before was overlays. So tell me about what overlays are. And I presume they also give that pattern interrupt and make the content more engaging so people keep watching.
Definitely. So overlays are those are overlays. Like, what you're reading at the bottom of the screen is an overlay. So this is just a fancy term in the industry that they use to sound more technical. But in layman's term, an overlay is just text or a logo or a photo flashing on the screen to explain more of what the speaker is telling the audience. It's simple as that. Like, I have my name on the screen right there, so people knows that I'm Charles. But if you remove that overlay, no one's, as we're speaking, no one's gonna know I'm Charles. So they're going to wait for you to mention my name for you to know that I'm Charles. So if you want to entail information to people, there are two good ways to do it. One way is overlay, and the other one is B-roll.
Oh yeah, great. So that sounds good. So thank you so much for giving us your expertise today. I love the way that you've made it really informative and simple, really simple messages to put yourself out there. So in terms of, if you just had, what's the biggest tip you've got around video, like the most important thing that's coming up for you that you want to share as a message to people today?
Okay, so probably the most important message that I can share to everyone watching today is don't worry about the equipment. Don't worry on your technical skills, on how high your technical skills are. If you have good ideas, if you know that you have content that you want to share to the world, just go out there and share it to the world. Just shout your lungs out and let the world hear what you want to show them, because that's the most important thing in content, is the content itself, not the technical.
Exactly. And then there's also always great people like you, because you're director of marketing in our business global teams. And so there's always great video editors out there in the world who can help. So if anyone's been watching today and you're interested in getting someone to help edit your videos, you can chat to us at Global Teams, and we can see if we could find you a great person like Charles. But you're not getting Charles, so don't even try. Excellent. Thanks, Charles. It was lovely to speak to you today. I learned a lot. Thanks for that.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Have a good day. Patent interrupt. So if you'd like to see more interviews with amazing business owners sharing extraordinary insights, click subscribe, then click the bell button, then click all, and we'll notify you.